Hi, and welcome to Cinema Figures. I'm your host, KatRen, and today I have another review for you guys.
To your knowledge, did your father have any enemies? Shall I repeat the question?
No, I heard you.
Then please answer.
The new housemaid, ma'am. It's Bridget.
My name's Lizzie.
Do you find your room comfortable? It can get quite hot up there. Sometimes it's best to leave the door open.
It's all right, sweet girl.
Father, have you done something?
Have I done something?
If you need my help, you have it.
Lizzie Andrew Borden.
So, Shudder just recently dropped its newest streaming exclusive in the form of Lizzie. So technically this film was originally released last year and had a pretty limited release throughout theaters. So Lizzie, as per the name, this is a retelling of the Lizzie Borden theory of the case and everything that went into the murders. Well, this film, it focuses a bit more on the lead up and everything led into it. Of course, when I watched the trailer originally, there was a very strong relationship shown between both Chloe Sevigny's Lizzie Borden and Kristen Stewart's Bridget Sullivan. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a different take on it, but let's see what happens. And I gotta tell you, the way they explained how both Lizzie and Bridget, they formed this emotional and, yes, physical relationship, it made sense. They both suffered quite a bit at the hands of the Bordens, Lizzie's parents, and her uncle. And both of them were going to ultimately be punished by said family. So Lizzie is going through the motions with her father, and she's finding out that she's now being disinherited. If he dies, everything's supposed to go to either her uncle or her stepmother, who Lizzie does not get along with. Both she and her sister would probably either end out on the streets or, I mean, back then, institution. It's kind of bad, but institution or convent, because, it's a much rougher time for women back then. But when we delve in deeper with the abuse that Bridget endured from the Bordens, first off, for anyone in the comment section below who states that she should have backhanded Mr. Borden or spoken out against him for what he did to her, you have to put into perspective the time and who she was. She was an immigrant who was trying to work in an established household as a maid. Now, she was trying to feed herself. She was trying to stay off the streets. And unfortunately, that meant that she endured quite a bit in this story. Not saying that that actually happened, so do not come at me. But she does endure quite a bit of abuse, both sexually and just emotionally, from the family. Even having her name removed by Mrs. Borden, being told that she's Maggie now. And everyone is to refer to her as Maggie. Just let that sink in for a little bit. But the fact that both of them kind of work together and team up to protect one another throughout the film, Lizzie breaking the mirror and spreading the bits outside of Maggie's door, both of them even concocting this plan at the end, and all of the emotion throughout there. I have to tell you, it was a little satisfying seeing the image of Lizzie in the mirror covered in her stepmother's blood, and just the sheer rage and emotion that she was going through during the attack. Just a frenzied assault on this woman who had honestly just been hateful to her throughout this whole entire excursion. Then Maggie having the same opportunity with Mr. Borden. It was her turn, and her not being able to do it, and Lizzie actually having to finish the job, albeit, stick a hatchet in her dad's head. But throughout everything that's throughout, even Maggie holding on to this lie to protect Lizzie from hanging, it continues with the promise that she made to her earlier on in the film. I gotta tell you, this isn't my favorite Lizzie Borden property. Definitely they took a lot of liberties throughout. It was very entertaining. I don't think this is for everyone. There was a lot going on. There was definitely an agenda behind quite a bit of this, but I could see where it was going. Would I rewatch it again? I don't know. It was a decent film. Not something I would rush out to purchase if I saw it somewhere. I mean, decent watch for what it was, but as far as a exclusive for Shudder, a little disappointing compared to a lot of their other properties that they've had come out through the streaming app. But yeah, that is it for this review. Please do give me a like if you like this video. Comment below and tell me whether or not you have seen Lizzie and what you thought about some of the liberties that they took throughout the story. What did you think about their take on what happened, on the events? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? I could definitely see the motive there, and I could definitely agree with that. We'll just put it there. Please do subscribe to my channel for more movie content. I did start a brand new series here on Cinema Figures where I will be diving in deeper to certain film franchises. The very first one is going to be the Halloween series. And yeah, please do subscribe because, more content. Awesome. And yeah, that is it for this episode of Cinema Figures. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.